Hi guys, this is Aaron with Acoustic Snowshoe. We're just going to be going through a quick tutorial on how to install Ubuntu Server 16.04.3. So one thing you're going to want to check and do here is I'm going to be doing this in a virtual machine. So if you don't have VirtualBox installed, you can grab that from the Ubuntu Software Center. There's two of them that'll pop up when you search it. You can just use the top one. They're both the same. Hop over to the Ubuntu server website. Click the download link for 16.04.3. I've already done so. So we're going to set up to be a bridged adapter in our VirtualBox, and there's an option here between this WLP1SO and an ENPOS25, I think. What is that? If we do ifconfig on the Linux box I'm running on here, we can see that the one that is active is that WLP1S0. That is my wireless adapter. The other one is my Ethernet adapter. The LO is your loopback address. So we will select the wireless adapter because that's the one I'm using. You can see there's an IP address associated with it. And then just go in and select your DVD image that you downloaded. Okay, we're going to just start this, the VM and just select your language as English. If you are watching this video, then likely you speak English. This menu pops up. You can click cancel or OK it. It doesn't matter. And then we're just going to select that install Ubuntu server option. And we'll hit English for our language again. And United States. And we're not going to detect keyboard layout and just select English US, English US. Detecting keyboard layout, it takes a long time, and honestly it doesn't really work that well. So now we're just kind of loading things off of that flash drive, and in this case it's just a disk image sitting on my desktop because it's being installed in a VirtualBox. It's going to do this, look the same way if you're installing from a flash drive. It configured with DHCP. If it didn't, you would go through and configure IP address manually. We're going to give this a host name of IPAM. We're going to be using this for our phpIPAM demo later on. We'll give the user the name Acoustic Snowshoe because Acoustic Snowshoe is awesome. And we'll create a username of Acoustic Snowshoe as well. I'm just going to set a basic password here. This is a demo in a VirtualBox. It's not going on the internet, so I'm not really concerned with security a whole lot with this. If you are putting yours on the internet, your server on the internet, then you're going to want to pick strong passwords and maybe consider encrypting your home directory. We're going to select that option for using LVMs, and what that is going to do is allow us to more easily expand storage later on if you wanted to resize your partitions or something like that. It's going to be a lot easier to do if you set up with LVM. We're just going to do continue here. If you have a proxy, this is where you would enter it. Most likely you will not be using that feature. Okay, so here we have some update options. You could do no automatic upgrades. That's fine. Install automatically for the security updates is what we're going to choose in this case. And then Ubuntu Landscape is kind of like a server management tool that Ubuntu or Canonical offers. For our server, we'll select the OpenSSH, the standard tools, and the web server. Here I'm just using root as my root password for MySQL. You should not do that. You should choose an actual secure password. Like I said, this is just a demo, so it's not going on the internet, and there won't be any actual data going into the system. So once I'm done with the how to install phpIPAM demo, this server is going to get nuked, and so I'm not really concerned with setting secure passwords and things. I'm going to install grub bootloader to the master boot record. If you don't do that, it's not going to be able, you're not going to be able to choose Ubuntu when you restart the VM or your actual machine. At this point, the installation is complete, so we'll hit OK. It'll remove the live packages, and then when it reboots, you're going to see the grub menu show up. So, and that's that grub that we just installed. So if you don't install grub, you won't see that menu and be able to select Ubuntu at boot. So you want to install that. Okay. At this point, we're going to go in, disable live CD, and remove the disk. Both need to be done, and then just save those settings. So the next time that you reboot this VM, it's not attached. If you were doing physical hardware, you would simply unplug your USB drive at that point. Log in with the username we set and the password. Do an ifconfig, and we can see the IP address that was configured via the DHCP. And we'll just ping out and make sure we can talk to the internet, which we can. So our bridged adapter is working. And then we'll do an update and an upgrade right away here. There's normally a lot of updates, security and otherwise, that just need to be done right away after you install Ubuntu Server or Ubuntu Desktop. The images that are sitting out there for download normally don't have the latest packages. It's good enough to get you running, but you pretty much want to do this before you start installing any other software. Now I'm just going to show you that our OpenSSH is working, so we'll SSH into the server with that same IP address, and we're into that IPAM server. So that is how you will SSH in. If you're on a Windows box, you'll need to use something like PuTTY. I don't know why you would use Windows though, so nothing else to say about that. It's gross. Windows is gross, don't do that. Okay, there's a couple directories that are somewhat important to a web server, and not that this tutorial is about web servers, but we did install it, so we'll just talk about it briefly. If you do an ls on your etc or your var dub directory, there's an HTML file in there. You can take a look at that yourself, and then on etc Apache 2 is where all of your Apache configuration files are. So when a tutorial is talking about those files, that's where they are. You can navigate to that IP address and you can see our Apache web server is up and running, but there's nothing there, just that default HTML file that we just saw when we ls'd var dub, and we saw that HTML file sitting there. That's what's prompting that page that we just viewed with our web browser. That's all we have for this tutorial, so thank you for watching, and if you liked this video and would like to see more things like it, let me know in the comments. Thank you.